to really feel through it, it can feel very intimidating, very scary. And this is kind of why the masculines can get a little flustered with the feminines, because they're like, well, how do you feel? And welcome back to Twin Flames Universe, where you are discovering twin flames, eternal love, and spirituality. I am certified Ascension Coach Kanisha, and today's topic is going to be on the Divine Masculine's deepest secret. Before we start, definitely don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can receive more content and helping you go deeper on your twin flame journey. All right, so the masculine's deepest secret, which, you know, the masculines who are showing up are going to be like, what is she going to tell us? Because I don't want them to know my deepest secret. But this is something that I have found through working with a lot of divine masculines, and even also moving through this with my own divine masculine in my union. And it's actually a very loving thing to know this in order to help your union grow. And so I am just the messenger, but I do figure that this is something that everyone should know, and that is that the divine masculine's deepest secret is that they are very, 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 very sensitive creatures. They are definitely very sensitive beings. This is something that is actually very important to know, because the divine masculine went through many years, many lifetimes of suppressing their feelings and their fears in order to look masculine, and also to be able to not seem weak. And those are just all things that are lies. The divine masculine, being sensitive and being vulnerable, are actually very strong qualities. They're very strong traits in order to be able to love fully to their capacity. So why this feels like a secret is because a lot of them have a hard time expressing how sensitive they really are and seeing it as an okay thing. Most masculines probably grew up with fathers who were told them to stop crying. You need to wipe that look off your face. No need to express your feelings. Just throw some dirt on it, walk away, whatever it was for them. But they weren't ever given the space to truly be able to feel their feelings, to be able to vocalize what they're feeling and be vulnerable in that space, and really honor how sensitive something may have made them feel. So what the divine masculine is truly seeking at times is just a safe space for them to truly and authentically express themselves. They want to be completely loved. They want to be completely received. They want to be seen as a very strong masculine, but also be able to express that hurt little boy who's moving through things sometimes. And instead of being able to express it, it may come out as anger. It may come out as stonewalling. They might go into just kind of shutting down. This is something I've learned about my masculine, is when he doesn't feel safe, or he doesn't feel like he can truly express himself and allow that sensitivity to come through, walls will go up and he will shut down and he will recluse like the hermit Virgo that he is. All I can do is hold space for him and unconditionally love him and have compassion for him. And the more that I hold that space for him, the faster it is for him to move through what he's moving through. And so their sensitivity and vulnerability is not something you can like claw out of them. You have to create a safe space for them to do that. And how you do that, divine feminine, is by creating a safe space for you, giving yourself permission to be sensitive, because we all know that the divine feminine is a very sensitive being as well. You may actually see it more from the divine feminine than you do the divine masculine. And it is okay to give yourself permission to be sensitive, to be vulnerable, to give yourself that safety, that reassurance, and that validation. When you give that to yourself, you're cultivating that with God. You're also cultivating that within your union, so that your masculine can have that space with you too, in order to share some of their deepest fears, some of the secrets they may be holding on to due to shame and guilt. You really are creating the safest place for them to be able to process what they've been holding on to and what they've been so fearful to share in their life due to a fear of judgment, a fear of being abandoned, a fear of not being accepted. All those things the masculine moves through. But because, again, they've spent so many years or so many lifetimes suppressing these feelings and not really giving themselves the permission and the space to really feel through it, it can feel very intimidating, very scary. And this is kind of why the masculines can get a little flustered with the feminines, because they're like, well, how do you feel? Feel your feelings. And you'll hear masculines be like, I don't need to feel my feelings. My feelings don't tell me anything. My feelings are nothing good. It's what I hear a lot. The more that I had that resistance from my masculine, he was really mirroring to me where I still had some issues and upsets about feeling my feelings, where I had resentment about upsets coming up. And so when I healed those using the mirror exercise and working with my ascension coach, I found that my masculine really started to open up and really share deeper parts about himself that I didn't think I was going to be able to see, or that he even didn't think he was going to be able to share. There's been many times where my masculine has been like, that you're the first person I've ever told this, or you're the first person I ever felt safe enough to express this to. And that's really what you're cultivating in your union, is deep safety and trust for you both to be able to be your most authentic and purest versions of yourself. It's a really beautiful place to be. And so one of the things that you can encourage your masculine to do, feminines, is let them know, like, it's okay that it feels sensitive in this space. It's okay that it feels raw. These feelings are not something that you have to attach to or identify with. They're just coming up to be released. And you also grounded to that knowing divine feminine, you create that space for them. And so remember that it's okay for them to show emotion, to cry. This is something that my masculine sometimes gets upset about, because he doesn't like to have me see him be emotional or cry. But to me, it's a very vulnerable thing. And it reminds me of how human he is. And that there at times is a very hurt little wounded boy in there who just needs love and reassurance, and helping him get that and receive that from God, but also having God move through me to provide that for him as well. It's a very beautiful thing. And so when we can really embrace that sensitivity and that vulnerability and start building trust and reassurance with ourselves in that space, you will see your union thrive. You will see it to start to expand and blossom in ways that you didn't even know was possible, because you're giving it a safe space to really expand into its truest form. And you will find that there is nothing but unconditional love and acceptance at the core of your union. But you do have to give that to yourself first before you can extend it to others. And if you find that your twin flame, your divine masculine, has resistance in this space, that is okay. Only one of you needs to heal. And so when you heal how you feel about it, you will start to see them shift as well. My divine masculine would not speak about anything for a very long time that had to deal with too much of his past or feelings in general. But now he says things like, this is my upset, this is how I'm feeling here, this is why it triggered me. His vocabulary has really started to shift and change because we're one consciousness. And so it almost sounds like he's being coached, or like he's sharing how he was coached in an upset, but really he's just able to receive from my consciousness, because we're one, my part of the consciousness on how to heal his upset. So what I tend to do is just hold space for him when he's in a very sensitive space, when he's in a very vulnerable space, and I just listen. I just receive. I don't try to fix his problem. I don't try to tell him what his upset is. The more that I can just hold space for him, the easier it is for him to move through that, and God guides him through it. And you will just start to see your masculine blossom and open up to you, and you will be the safest place for them to just take off the mask that they might be wearing throughout the day, because society expects so much of them. And then they'll start leaving that space without their mask on and really truly show up as their authentic self, which is what we truly desire for our masculines, is to show up authentically and just the real version of them. So I know this video is going to be helpful. Remember that sensitivity is a very beautiful thing, a very vulnerable thing. And when you can be vulnerable, that is a strength, because that really allows you to get to know each other on a true, unconditional, loving level, a true, authentic level. And you can't love someone fully when you don't know them fully, and vice versa. Someone can't love you fully if they don't know you fully. And so in order to be able to do that, that requires you cultivating safety and trust within you so that you can extend that and build that in your union naturally. If you would like more support in healing this within your union, definitely check out twinflamesuniverse.com. There are many amazing ascension coaches that are there to help you heal these core blocks to love and help you relax into your harmonious union with your divine lover, because that is your natural state of being. And I will see you guys soon. You take care. Bye-bye.